Right now, I don't know. I have no plan. I'm screwed. Pretty much screwed.
Millions of Americans are dealing with the same fear. No money for rent, nowhere to live. The federal ban on evictions has run out and rental assistance isn't always getting out fast enough, leaving thousands in limbo and afraid of losing their homes. Congress acted quickly when it became clear how bad the economic fallout would be when lockdowns began. Lawmakers passed the CARES Act by the end of March 2020, sending out stimulus checks, boosting unemployment insurance, and creating a federal eviction moratorium. The ban protected 11 million Americans who said they would lose their homes without help. But then on July 31st, 2021, the government let it expire.
Every single day that we wait, thousands, hundreds of thousands of people are receiving eviction notices, and some of them are being put out on the street.
I feel lost. I feel helpless. I feel like I can't do anything. Even though I work and I got a full-time job, I can't, it doesn't help. It ain't helping me right now, and nobody seems to want to help.
The Biden administration said their hands were tied because of the Supreme Court. The justices ruled Congress had to renew the moratorium, not just the president. But on Capitol Hill, lawmakers couldn't agree on a new bill in time, which meant people like Louis Vertens and Roxanne Schaefer were no longer protected from their landlords.
He's threatening to come here on the 30th and throw my stuff out and change the locks. And if he does, I lose everything and I'll have nothing. I'll be homeless out in the street.
I was backed up 4 months, and I ended up talking to my landlord, telling him the situation with my medical, and trying to see if he would work with me, and he didn't want to hear it. He's like, why am I going to wait for your rent when I can get somebody else moving in here? So he's throwing me out to get somebody else in so he can get his money, which I kind of agree with the guy. He needs to make his money too, but you got to work with people. Everybody's having hardships right now. Everybody needs a little bit of help from somebody.
That's when another part of the government stepped in to try and help. You may think of the CDC as a huge lab filled with doctors and researchers focused on fighting illness and disease. In reality, the agency can do a lot in the name of public health. So it was the CDC that created a new eviction moratorium, saying to force people out of their homes now would make the crisis even worse. Unfortunately, the Supreme Court struck down this ban too. And for landlords, the news couldn't come soon enough.
My role is to supply housing and get paid for it. And if you're preventing me from evicting someone for not paying their rent, then you're asking me to be subsidized housing. I would be more acceptable of eviction moratorium if there was direct payments to landlords.
That program already exists. Part of the CARES Act was supplying billions of dollars to tenants so that they can afford to pay rent. The problem is, a lot of the money is stuck somewhere between the state and local governments and the people who need it.
Almost $50 billion was allocated, $46 billion. Less than 10% of that has been spent. Why should the renters be punished for the fact that the system did not put money in their pockets to pay the rent to the landlords?
Let's take Mississippi as an example, where nearly a third of renters say they're behind on payments. The way emergency rental assistance is supposed to work is the federal government gives states a certain amount of funding based on population and need, and then the state distributes that to the county and city governments that qualify. For a county to directly receive that aid, its population has to exceed 200,000. In Mississippi, there are only 2 counties that make the cut, Hinds and Harrison. The rest of the money goes to the state government. If you or someone in your family has lost a job or had their pay cut because of COVID-19 and you make below $40,000 a year, you can get help.
Even if they can do it for 3 months, that would help me out tremendously because, like I said, I'm a single parent mom, taking care of 2 kids. A lot of people have pride. I think it's time to put your pride to the side. If you need help, you just need help.
And it's not just for renters. Landlords can apply as well. But the problem is, so far, only a fraction of that money has gotten through the system into people's pockets. less than 7%, according to Mississippi Today. And it's not just Mississippi, it's nationwide, with a lot of people asking, what's the holdup? If the money is there, what's taking so long?